Life isn't shaped in the moments when everything is going right. It's shaped in the moments when nothing seems to make sense. You and I both know adversity. It comes disguised as failure, heartbreak, financial struggle, disappointment, and doubt. But what if the very moments you fear most are actually the keys to your rise? What if your setbacks are not stop signs, but invitations to evolve? Stay with me until the end, because today we uncover how to turn adversity into your greatest advantage, just like Jim Rohn taught us. Your breakthrough may be hiding in your breakdown. Every challenge carries a hidden gift, a seed of growth, strength, and clarity. Life does not happen to you. It happens for you. Your setbacks are simply preparations, sharpening you for a greater future. When life closes one door, it's often guiding you to open one you never considered. True greatness is not built in comfort. It's forged in challenge. First, seeing failure as feedback. Failure is often misunderstood as a dead end, a final verdict on one's abilities or potential. But in reality, failure is one of life's most honest and instructive teachers. It shows us exactly where our assumptions were wrong, where our weaknesses are hiding, and where our skills need refinement. When embraced with humility and curiosity, failure becomes a form of feedback more valuable than praise or easy victories. Success rarely arrives in a straight line. It is a path paved with attempts, adjustments, and corrections. Every misstep exposes a new angle you hadn't considered before, a new layer of understanding that clarity alone cannot offer. Instead of reacting with frustration, disappointment, or self-doubt, adopt the mindset of a student. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? That question alone shifts your perspective from defeat to discovery. The Stoics remind us that events themselves are neutral. It is our interpretation that gives them weight. Failure is not inherently negative. What makes it feel negative is our ego's resistance to being wrong. But once you detach your self-worth from the outcome and look at failure as information, you unlock an extraordinary advantage. You become someone who can improve rapidly, adapt easily, and persist consistently. Winners are not people who never fail. They are people who never stop learning from failure. Every unsuccessful attempt refines your approach. Every disappointment reveals something about your process, your mindset, or your preparation. This iterative cycle, try, learn, improve, is the real engine behind mastery. Think of innovators, athletes, creators, and leaders who achieved greatness. Their paths were filled with failed experiments, false starts, rejected ideas, and moments where nothing seemed to be working. But the difference between those who rise and those who quit lies in how they interpret those moments. Where others see evidence that they should stop, the successful see guidance for what to do next. Failure is simply feedback in disguise, a message pointing you toward a better strategy. The more openly you accept feedback, the faster and further you can move. When you shift your attitude toward failure, fear loses its power. You stop hesitating, stop avoiding risk, and stop holding back your potential. Instead, you engage with the process fully because you understand that even if you stumble, the fall carries insight. The key is to learn, adjust, and advance. That is the formula that turns failure into progress. Never waste a failure. Analyze it, extract the lesson, and use it as fuel. If you can do that, then every setback becomes another step toward your breakthrough. 2. Building strength through struggle. There is a universal truth woven through human experience. Growth does not come from comfort. Strength, real, lasting, unshakable strength, is built in the furnace of adversity. While comfort soothes the mind, struggle sharpens it. When life challenges you, confronts you, or pushes you beyond what you thought you could handle, it is not trying to break you. It is trying to build you. The Stoics taught that hardship is not an obstacle to becoming better. It is the path itself. Just as a blacksmith uses fire and pressure to shape steel, life uses strain and difficulty to shape character. When everything goes smoothly, you remain exactly who you are. There is no need to change, no push to evolve, no reason to reach deeper. But when pressure arrives, when your patience is tested, your plans collapse, or your strength falters, that is when you uncover qualities that were lying dormant within you. Resilience, discipline, humility, resourcefulness. These traits are not born in comfort. They are forged through necessity. Struggle reveals what you are truly made of, not by showing your limitations, but by forcing you to transcend them. Instead of resisting hardship or wishing it away, lean into it. Accept it as a training ground. Every challenge carries an invitation to grow. When you feel overwhelmed, breathe deeply. When you feel tested, stay present. When you feel unprepared, step forward anyway. The very act of enduring difficulty transforms you. Each moment of struggle strengthens your emotional muscles, toughens your mindset, and teaches you that you are capable of far more than you believed. Warriors are not formed in peaceful conditions. They are shaped by battles, sharpened by setbacks, and empowered by the pain they've learned to navigate. Strength built through struggle does not fade with time. It becomes part of who you are. Once you have endured hardship, future challenges lose their intensity because you recognize your own capacity. You trust yourself. You move with confidence, knowing that you have survived storms before and can weather them again. Struggle is not punishment. It is preparation. The difficult days are the ones that sculpt your character most sharply. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this developing within me?" When you adopt that attitude, every challenge becomes purposeful. And over time, you evolve into someone unstoppable. 3. Turning mistakes into mentors. Mistakes, though uncomfortable, are invaluable teachers. They expose gaps in your awareness, highlight areas that need attention, and bring forth truths you might otherwise ignore. Yet many people view mistakes as personal failings rather than educational tools. They judge themselves harshly, dwell on embarrassment, or attempt to hide their errors. But the Stoic perspective flips this entirely. Mistakes are not curses. They are mentors. A mentor is someone who guides you, corrects you, and helps you improve. Mistakes function exactly the same way. They reveal where your judgment faltered, where your assumptions misled you, or where your preparation fell short. When you examine your mistakes without ego, calmly, honestly, and deliberately, you gain clarity. You learn how to refine your decision-making, sharpen your awareness, and strengthen your discipline. Mistakes offer honest feedback that success often hides. Instead of resenting your errors, review them. Study them with patience and humility. Ask yourself, what triggered this mistake? What did I overlook? What can I change moving forward? This reflective approach transforms mistakes from sources of shame into sources of wisdom. You begin to value them not for the pain they cause, but for the understanding they deliver. When you stop defining yourself by your mistakes, you begin to grow beyond them. A mistake is an event, not an identity. What matters is not whether you stumble, but what you do afterward. Each mistake is preparing you, shaping you, and equipping you for the next step on your path. Over time, this approach builds confidence. You no longer fear making mistakes because you trust your ability to learn from them. Let your mistakes mentor you. Let them refine your judgment, strengthen your patience, and expand your wisdom. They are not obstacles, they are stepping stones. Embrace them, and they will prepare you for everything you are becoming. 4. Rebounding stronger after loss. Loss has a way of stopping time. It can feel as if the whole world takes a breath and then forgets to exhale. The routines that once anchored you suddenly feel hollow, and the familiar becomes foreign. This is the first sting of loss, the disorientation, the sudden break in the rhythm of your life. It's not weakness to feel this. It's human. Every meaningful thing we've ever cared about has left an imprint, so when something slips away, the echo is loud. But it's precisely in this pause, in this rupture, that the seeds of resilience begin to form. Resilience isn't blindness to pain or pretending everything is okay when it's not. It's the opposite. It's the willingness to stand in the rubble of what was and decide that what remains is still enough to start again. When life knocks you down, the fall can feel humiliating, unexpected, or deeply unfair. But falling is not failing. Falling is friction, proof that you were moving, growing, trying. And in that friction, in that resistance, strength is born. The person who avoids every storm never learns the shape of their own endurance. The comeback begins the moment you choose not to be defined by what you lost, but refined by what you lived through. Loss reshapes you. It alters your priorities, your beliefs, your sense of what truly matters. You do not return to who you were before, because that version of you didn't yet know this depth of pain or this capacity for growth. You advance into someone wiser, someone with scars that speak of survival, someone who now understands that life's interruptions often reveal life's intentions. Every rebound starts with a shift in perspective, a quiet realization that although you cannot control everything that happens, you can always control how you rise. Strength is not found in rushing the recovery. It's found in allowing the hurt to deepen your understanding rather than darken your spirit. Some days you move forward boldly, other days you take only a single step. Both count. Both are progress. The key is refusing stagnation, refusing the temptation to let loss become your identity instead of simply a chapter. Life's greatest comebacks are born from the decision to turn wounds into wisdom. Grief teaches clarity, what you value, what you will no longer tolerate, what deserves your time, and what no longer fits your path. This clarity becomes your foundation. Brick by brick, you rebuild. Not to recreate the past, but to construct a future fortified by experience. You become stronger not because you avoid breaking, but because you learn how to rebuild yourself with intention. In the end, rebounding after loss is not just about recovering what was taken from you. It's about discovering what the loss awakened in you. Perhaps a resilience you didn't know you had. Perhaps a dream that suddenly matters more. Perhaps a version of yourself that is more courageous, more compassionate, more aligned with who you were always meant to become. This is your transformation. This is your rising. And when you stand again, steadier, clearer, braver, you realize that loss didn't end your story. It sharpened it. 5. Using pain as your propulsion. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers, but it rarely feels that way in the moment. When it arrives, it can suffocate your energy, break your rhythm, or make you question your strength. Pain demands your attention, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, but hidden beneath that discomfort is a strange and powerful truth. Pain is also one of the most potent sources of fuel you'll ever encounter. It can either imprison you in cycles of fear and stagnation, or it can propel you into a future forged by determination, clarity, and fire. Every meaningful achievement in human history was preceded by discomfort. Growth is never born in comfort zones. It doesn't bloom in soft ground. It is sculpted in struggle, pressure, tension, resistance. Pain acts as the chisel that shapes your resilience. When you choose to use your hurt as fuel, you transform from someone passively affected by life into someone actively shaping it. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What will I build from this?" The fire inside you must burn brighter than the fires around you. External chaos is inevitable, betrayals, disappointments, setbacks, failures. You can't extinguish every flame in your environment, but you can cultivate an inner blaze that outshines, outlasts, and outpowers every obstacle. This internal fire is your purpose, your conviction, your refusal to let pain have the final word. It is the quiet but unbreakable belief that what tries to diminish you will ultimately strengthen you instead. When life tests you, and it will, you rise. Not because you are unbothered by the pain, but because you understand that discomfort is evidence of evolution. You push harder because the challenge clarifies your commitment. You grow deeper because adversity forces you to examine the roots of who you are and what you want. Pain stretches you. It reveals capacities you didn't know you had. It exposes fears, but it also exposes strengths. And once you see what you're capable of under pressure, comfort loses its power over you. The transformation begins the moment you stop running from pain and start using it as propulsion. Every heartbreak can cultivate emotional intelligence. Every rejection can strengthen your resolve. Every failure can sharpen your strategy. Every moment of suffering becomes a lesson, a stepping stone, a spark. Pain becomes the heat that forges you, like iron tempered in fire. You don't remain who you were before. You become something stronger, sharper, more precise. Greatness begins where comfort ends. It is in the uncomfortable moments, the doubts, the fears, the unseen struggles, where your true potential is revealed. Pain forces you to grow in ways comfort never could. It pushes you to act, to change, to evolve. And when you learn to channel discomfort into determination, you unlock a level of power and purpose that transforms not only your life, but the lives of those around you. Pain, when harnessed, becomes not a barrier, but a launching pad. And from that platform, you rise. Jim Rohn said it best: don't wish for less problems, wish for more wisdom. Life's challenges are not barriers, they are builders. Your adversity is not your enemy, it is your advantage. Turn pain into purpose, setbacks into strength, and challenges into chapters of triumph. Watch what you become.